I am told the pizza is going to arrive soon, but I will be personally very offended if you get up in the middle of this presentation. Okay, and for people who are on the phone, you're listening in real time, which means if you want to ask a question, you hit *1 to unmute, and then you use your mouth. And if you're on Air Mozilla, you are watching at about a 30 to 45 second delay, but do not feel bad, because off to the side of the Air Mozilla video feed, there is a little chat room, and if you log in, the very lovely Lucas Black will be monitoring that channel and will be forwarding questions to me, and I don't mind going back at all. That said, we got a lot to get through in an hour, so let's get cracking. So, the astute will have noticed that although I was very careful to mention that I'm going to talk about the future of Firefox and the Firefox product plan, this is numbered Firefox 4. So, very quickly, I want to explain what happened to Firefox 3.7. Around the last time I was giving a roadmap update, we were talking about shipping a Firefox 3.7 halfway through the year and shipping a Firefox 4 at the end of this year. Well, it turns out the primary motivator for Firefox 3.7 was helping our users with frequent crashes caused by plugins, and we've managed to do that, and actually we are planning on shipping it to our Firefox 3.6 users in Firefox 3.6.4. So the easy takeaway here is that what was going to be Firefox 3.7 is actually now going to be Firefox 3.6.4 when we get that out there. It's, progress is ongoing. We're finding some good data. So that's what happened. Now, Mozilla Central, the trunk, is going to be numbered 3.7 for the next little while. Don't worry about that. The product that we are going to talk about, though, the product that we're looking to ship at the end of this year is indeed Firefox 4. So just to clarify. Whee! So let's talk about Firefox 4. When Jay and I started talking with a bunch of people about what we wanted the plan for Firefox 4 to be, we decided to structure this by first thinking about who the Firefox users are, what it is they're trying to do. And it's good to keep re-asking that question, because it turns out that what people do with the web and the internet is changing day by day, week by week, year by year. And so we need to make sure that we understand what people are trying to do with our product. And then we can start asking ourselves, how can we make sure that Firefox is the best tool for the job? What do we need to do to our platform and our application to help it succeed? And of course, our mission as Mozilla is to set the agenda and push the open web forward. And so are we actually doing that with our product? So let's break this down a bit. Who uses Firefox? And you're going to see some work in the upcoming future looking to segment Firefox a little bit more, segment the user audience. In terms of who uses Firefox, end users, broadly we can think of this as two audiences. There's early adopters and there's mainstream users. I do not want to hear anybody talking about my mother. Web developers as well. There's early adopters. There's web developers who are building really incredibly complicated JavaScript applications. And then there's mainstream web developers who are just trying to get a cool website up in order to solve a problem or build a solution for their users. And of course, there's Firefox developers. There's people who are building things like Firefox for mobile devices. So people like Vlad, like Wu, Stuart, the Fennec team. And there's ourselves. There's Firefox application developers and what we need out of the platform in order to build a really successful product. So what are these people trying to do? Well, I would argue that what users are really looking to do is interact. Interact with their friends, their family, random people on the web. They're looking to create. Increasingly, they're looking to create content. Pictures of their children, videos of their friends, just the interesting sort of mashups and creativity we're seeing from the users of the internet themselves. Of course, find things, learn things. The primary and foundational experiences of the internet are still there, one would argue more than ever. They're looking to have really cool experiences. Chat roulette proves that. They're willing to go through a lot of pain to have really interesting experiences. And they're also looking for control wherever possible. People we've seen would like to customize their web experience. They'd like to customize how they get their applications, how they get their data. What are developers trying to do? Obviously, they're trying to build. Developers, everybody in this room, and likely most of the people on this call certainly know, developers are a pragmatic bunch. They want to build something. They want to create something. But they also want to find really expressive ways of building their applications for users. They want to impress their users more and more. They want to be able to use a toolkit which is going to actually create experiences that are impressive and immersive. And of course, they want to reach people. They want to get people at home at their computers, on the go on their mobile devices, everywhere they can. So for all of these things, we need to be thinking about it. How can Firefox be the best tool for this? What does Firefox need to succeed? And how can we lead the open web in serving these use cases? And so, taking all this together, I rewrote the slide, or Jay and I rewrote the slide he came up with a year ago. which was looking at themes that we want to put into this release, divided into 3 sections. The first section that I'll talk about is what we plan on doing for users. And the big takeaway here is that we want to build a product that is fast, friendly, and empowering. We want to talk about what we're going to do for web developers, which is build them tools for capable and fast web applications. And of course, we want to talk about how all of that needs to be built on a platform which is fast, secure, and optimized for all the different devices that people are using today. Lucas hasn't put up her hand yet, so hopefully I am blowing you all away. This is awesome. So for the rest of the presentation, or for the majority of the meat of the presentation, I'm going to talk about the projects that we currently have underway, how they fit into these themes, and where possible, show you the work that's already taking place. So, fast, friendly, and empowering for users. The first part of this is fast, and fast is a really interesting concept. We think of fast at Mozilla in terms of the benchmarks that we have. TS, TP, tscroll, tzool, twinopen, T whatever you want. And it turns out that that is one great way to measure performance, but it's not necessarily the way our users experience performance. The experience of performance, I would argue, is what the user sees as the performance of the application. Part of that can be changed just by changing the order in which we paint pixels on the screen. Alex Faborg recently wrote a great blog post taking a look at some work that was presented at Kai this year, where it turns out that the way that you animate a progress indicator can change the experience and the sensation of how fast a product is. Something UI designers have known for a long time is that the simpler an interface looks, the faster it will seem in terms of the number of pixels that are presented. The less that a user has to take in with their eye, the quicker they can process it, and the quicker the entire application will seem. So we're actually looking at making our interface faster just by changing the way it looks. So this default teamwork that Stephen Horlander, who for people in the room, he's here this week in the front row, is marshalling. We're talking, stand up for people in the back, Stephen. And so you can get your, yeah, man, now you're on Mozilla.